Hello viewers, Bill's HVAC, Piano, Fishing, and Rail Fan Productions here. We were originally not going to do videos, but the depression calmed down for a while, so I figured we'd do an upload for you. Tonight we're going to be doing rainbow trout. I'm going to make myself a little bit of dinner, so I'm going to have some rainbow trout tonight, since I love to eat trout. So you guys can see I got my fish right here. So we're going to gotta make sure he's all set and ready to go. Make sure we can move our fillet. Kind of free him up a little bit. There we go. So make sure he's free. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab all our tools we need, which for this one we're going to need our tongs for putting the trout into the pan. And we're also going to need our spatula so we can flip our trout when each side is done. So our pan, we got that heating up right now. So I'm going to show you real quick here what we got it set for. Got it set for 5. So that's why I like to do it. That's what the heat setting I like to use for trout. I like to do it on number 5. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to put some butter in our pan, since I like to do them in just butter. So I'm going to grab myself a fork, since that's what we're going to eat with as well. And this shouldn't take terribly long. It should only take me like 3 to 4 minutes each side. I like to cook them until they're golden brown. So we're going to go ahead and put a nice big piece in there. And there we go. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take our butter spatula. We're going to start spreading the butter around in the pan, which we're going to go ahead and do that. Show you guys that here. You guys can see why it's important that you do it like this, because this will ensure that the butter covers the entire pan, and that way when you put your fish in, it will work out. So we're getting that butter all nice and melty here. And then we're going to take our trout and we're going to put it in the pan. Alright, so our butter is all nice and melted. We're going to take our tongs. It's these guys right here. And we're going to carefully lift up our fillet. We're going to put them in the frying pan. There we go. He's in the pan. Alright, so we're going to let that heat up in the meantime here. So we're going to go ahead and toss the bag out. So because we put him in a little awkward, we put him in a little, probably should have thawed him out first before we put him in the pan. But sometimes, some people do like to do it this way, and I don't blame them. And already it's just starting to sizzle. So we're going to show you guys this. So as the trout heats up and cooks, you're going to hear it start to sizzle. And that's what you want, is you want it to start sizzling. So that's how you're going to know that your trout is starting to cook. So we're going to pause you guys for a minute here. Actually, no way. So you guys can hear that, I hope. It is starting to sizzle, which means the trout has begun cooking. Okay, so it's been about a minute already, and he's just starting to sizzle pretty good now, which means the cooking process is underway. And as the trout continues to cook, then it will begin to sizzle more and more as we cook the trout. And just like that, he is sizzling pretty good now. So you guys can see what I just did there. Sometimes it's best if you press down a little bit on your fillet to make sure it's heated all the way through. And because this one's going to take a little bit longer, because we just put it in fresh out of the freezer, it's going to take a little bit longer. So you want to make sure that you cook it thoroughly, because you don't want to undercook your meat. Because if you undercook your meat and you don't cook it enough, then there's a potential chance of food poisoning. So you're going to see as we cook this fillet, you guys are going to notice how I'm going to be checking it periodically to ensure. So what we're going to do for right now, we're just going to temporarily, we're going to flip them over for right now. As soon as we can thaw the other side. Whoop. He does not want us to flip them. Alright, so we're going to do this a little bit easier here. We're going to make sure as we flip. Alright, so you guys can see I just flipped him over. So we're going to allow him to... So he's not fully cooked yet, but we're only doing this so we can thaw him out on both sides, and then we can fully cook our fillet. You know, because you want to cook it fully, because if you don't cook your fillet fully, then there is a chance of food poisoning, as I said before. So you guys want to be very sure that you cook it thoroughly and fully before you eat it. Right now you can see we're thawing him out. So this is another good way to do it too. If you don't feel comfortable trying this method out, you can just simply revert to standard trout cooking methods. But we're gonna do him a bit darker, because like I said, he was fresh out of the freezer. So we're gonna flip periodically. Nice to see how I'm carefully thawing him out, because you just want to be sure you cook them thoroughly and evenly. So that's why you guys can see the method I chose, how we're going to flip periodically just to ensure that he cooks properly. And by the way, guys, this is rainbow trout that I'm having for dinner tonight. So I'm sure you guys know the traditional fish and chips for dinner. Well, this is kind of similar to an extent. So you guys just saw that, I hope, on the camera. I am going to be periodically flipping him just to ensure that we get him cooked, that we get him fully thawed out. Because if you can start to easily move the fillet and it starts to become easier to flex, then you know his cooking process is well underway. So right now we're in the thawing process, fresh in the pan. Starting to thaw out. That's a good sign. Now sometimes what people like to do too when they're cooking rainbow trout, some people will do it like I just did, where you put them fresh in the pot, fresh in the frying pan out of the freezer. Usually you want to let your trout thaw, but like I said, some people have their own methods of cooking their own trout, and I'm not judging anybody for that. Alright, he's sizzling pretty good, so we're going to flip him again. So this is going to take a little bit longer because, like I said, we got them fresh out of the freezer tonight. So we're gonna cook them up a little bit here. Let that cook up real nice. You can see he's already starting to get golden brown, but he's not fully cooked because you have to give him time to thaw and warm up to cooking temperature. So your skin's going to be a bit darker than what you're normally used to when you cook rainbow trout after you thaw it, or if it's fresh caught, like Monday or Sunday night. Caught and gutted 3 trout and had them for dinner, so it's pretty good. You know, if you guys like, guys like rainbow trout, then I definitely recommend, you go out there and catch some because they are super yummy, super healthy. They are practically the best trout you can eat regarding like health-wise. They are the healthiest fish you can eat. So you guys can hear, he's sizzling pretty good. So we're gonna check here. We see how soft he is. Oh, there we go. He just do a little pop. Gonna give him another minute or two. So usually, if your trout are fresh caught, or if you catch them, or if you fresh catch them, or if they're out of the freezer. Now, if your trout is fresh caught and out of the freezer, you want to thaw your trout before you put them in the frying pan to start cooking in. So now we're in the cooking process. You guys can see here we are being very, very careful during the cooking process because you don't want to overcook your trout because overcooking it is just as bad as undercooking it. So I'm checking. So he's looking pretty good. So we're going to check underneath now. Alright, he's almost golden brown. Give him another minute here. And then we're going to flip him. And already it's starting to smell like yummy rainbow trout. He's smelling yummy. And he's sizzling pretty good. So in about a minute we're going to flip him. Allow the other side to cook up. Ooh, yeah, he's sizzling. He's popping pretty good. Oh, there we go. That's nice and brown. So I don't know how well you guys can see that on the video or not, but we're gonna show you anyway what we're looking at here, because that's what you want your finished fillet to look like. You want to be a nice golden brown, and the meat should be white on the inside. So that's how you know your trout is cooked. Alright, so we're going to give them another minute on each side, because that cooked pretty quick. So we're going to give them just a little bit darker. So like I said before, it's going to be a little bit darker than usual because we put them in fresh out of the freezer. So, you know, it's going to be a little bit darker. We're just making sure it's cooked thoroughly on both sides. Alright, so just shut our heat off here because we're just about done. So yeah, guys, if you want, you know, just something nice and simple for dinner but super healthy, definitely do rainbow trout. They are super healthy for you. They're lean in nutrients, and they're just the kind of fish you want. Alright, so there you go. That is how you cook rainbow trout. So we're going to put them on the plate here so you can see what our finished trout looks like. I'm going to go ahead and do that for you. So bring them out. And there we go. There's your finished trout fillet. Show you guys that real quick here. Here's your nice finished trout. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this nice little meal video here. It's the first we're ever going to feature one of these. And we'll see you next time. The next trout we're going to do is brook trout. Thanks for watching.